Hey, what's up, good people? Got my Dwayne Wangs on again today. All right, for those of you that's old enough to remember that. Hey, my name is Larry Jones. We're going to talk about what's happening with China, with the balloon, Friday's jobs, the Fed, the market. We're going to talk about all of that stuff in this video. I'm just going to keep it rolling and try to give you guys as much data or information as possible. But if you're new to the page, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. We are the family known as Stock Up. We just here to make money, not to get into politics, not to get into any of this. We just see what's going to happen so we can all prosper together, okay? Make sure you don't fall for any spam in the comment section. I don't have a WhatsApp, Telegram, none of that. Don't manage anybody's money. Please don't send money or crypto to anyone. And lastly, make sure, that's it. That's it. All right, make sure to check out the links after this, below, after this video is over. Let's start with Thursday. Thursday, we had Big Tech. Big Tech reported their earnings. I'm glad that's behind us because that is some less fear that I have about the market. They were lackluster. Nobody really hit the ball out of the park. And actually, they really weren't that good. But the market had just mixed reactions. A lot of them, the market popped. They went up. And then they turn around and gave back on some of the big tech. Just go back to my previous videos and check that out, okay? At the end of this video, I want you guys to watch a video. I'm going to leave it in this box for those of you that are watching this on a computer. You'll see a suggested video in the box here. Stocks with Josh and myself had a quite good conversation about where we think the market is. He gave his prediction on crypto and where it is headed. So you want to watch that after this. Hey, so after Thursday, we have Friday's jobs, right? And you and I know that good news is bad news, right? So the jobs came out and they were extremely well, meaning low unemployment. It was ridiculously good. And so what has happened before this weekend, the market usually tanks because it's fearful that the Fed is going to continue to raise interest rates. What does it do? It sells off on the initial announcement and then it rallies. The market rallies back. And so what's happening now? What is that telling me? That the market is calling the Fed's bluff. The market is no longer listening to the Fed. Or should I say, the market ain't scared of the Fed anymore. Okay? Like if the Fed is this muscle-bound dude that says, I'm going to beat you up, I'm going to beat you up, I'm going to beat you up, and he really never does, then, after a while you go, you know what? You ain't going to do nothing. And that's what the market did to the jobs earnings. It's like, we're not listening to you anymore. And I agree with the market. I really do. The Fed keeps saying that he doesn't see lightening up. As a matter of fact, he literally said in the FOMC meeting, which was Wednesday, that he was going to continue with rate hikes. But I believe personally that he will be neutral sooner than he's saying. And I also believe that he could, if the recession goes into a worser recession, that he actually could do a U-turn, a reversal, and start decreasing interest rates by the end of the year, say Christmas rally-ish time. Okay. So that's what I see with the overall market that is going on. Remember to watch this video in this box because we go in more in depth and Stocks with Josh actually shows you guys some charts. Now, let's talk about what's happening right now that is really, really huge news. And that is this Chinese balloon. All right. So for those of you that has been living under a rock and don't know about this story, Chinese balloon came into our airspace, right? Over, I believe it's South Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever. But it's in our airspace, right? And it's been there for, this news really kind of broke last Wednesday. And so it's been in our airspace Tuesday or Wednesday. And the Chinese first came out. They were like, oh, we're sorry. It's a weather balloon. And America's like, no, it's a spy balloon. And China's like, we really don't have control. It kind of drifted over to your airspace. You and I know that China is not allowing any American balloons over their airspace. Let's just keep it real. That's not going to happen. They're going to shoot it down, right? So we, the United States, have shot it down now, right? Here's the question. Are we going to be able to retrieve the data from it to see were they in fact spying? And if they were, this is not good for American-Chinese relations, right? And so let's talk about Chinese ADRs, And for those of you that don't know what a Chinese ADR is, if you have Li Auto, if you have NIO, if you have Baba, Alibaba, those are all Chinese ADRs. So let me go through real briefly what a Chinese ADR is, and then I'm going to talk about some things that could happen to those stocks that you have, right? So a Chinese ADR, which let's just go to ADRs. There's just ADRs, right? Let's start with that. ADR stands for American Depository Receipt, or depository. I think it's depository, the way that they spell it. All right. So American Depository Receipt, we'll just call that. All right. You can correct me. I know some of you guys will. All right. So most of them are through China and Canadian stocks. So what is an ADR? So these are, let me give you some of the companies first, and then I'll go in further what an ADR is. So you got Alibaba, ticker symbol BABA, Baidu or Baidudu, that's ticker symbol PDD, JD.com, ticker symbol JD, Trip.com, ticker symbol TCOM, one of my plays that we made a lot of money out of, DD, which is ticker symbol DD, NIO, ticker symbol NIO, Li Auto, Xpeng, all of the companies that are like that. There's somewhere around 249 Chinese ADRs. Remember, American Depository Receipt. These ADRs were created by the U.S. back in the 1920s. Okay. And so what it is these companies from these other countries are able to mimic the stock market that's in their countries. All right. So let's just say Alibaba. Alibaba is a Chinese company, right? And so through these ADRs, the bank that actually holds these stocks are not here in the U.S. They are offshore, like Cayman Islands type of deal. So they're offshore. Some of the stocks actually go there, and they mimic the price action here in the U.S. Market. Follow? And so here in the U.S., of course, the deposits are held by our banks. But because these are ADRs, American Deposit Receipts, they are held by an offshore account. Now, that causes problems because we have regulations that if you're going to trade on the U.S. market, all of these other companies have to follow these regulations. And so pretty much every 6 months, there is a threat of delisting of these ADRs, Chinese companies. Sometimes the threat comes from the U.S., sometimes the threat comes from China. But so far, they've always worked them out. Now, I have been hammering, stop loss. If you're into these plays, hopefully you've been listening to my videos over the past week and have your stop losses engaged, okay, at all times. Protect your profits. Use the tools that you have. Now, here's what could happen. And this is not Larry telling you to go buy any of these right now. I'm actually making this video for the people that already have these ADRs, whether it's Canadian or Chinese, well, especially Chinese now because they're the ones with the balloon. Okay. So I just want to say, hey, caution on that. Hopefully you got your stop losses set. It is risky. These Chinese ADRs are very risky, but they can be very profitable, right? So it's going to be one or two things, and I can't tell the future. If this story gets worse, then unfortunately, your Baba, your Neo, your Xpeng, your whatever you have could perform worse, right? But if you bought them in the last few days when things did get worse and you have a little more cash to buy down when things get even worse, you could actually make money on the bounce up, okay? But I'm warning you, it is extremely, extremely risky. Hey, Larry, this is Q&A. Hey, Larry, what should I do? Should I buy some now or should I sell the ones that I have? I can't tell you that because I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what China's going to do. I don't know what America's going to do. I think just like everything else, eventually this blows over and they kind of come back. That's just what I think because that's what's happened in the past. But no one has a crystal ball and no one knows how big this is going to be. But for those of you that are sitting there going, oh my God, how could they? How could they? Trust me, every major company has surveillance going on in other countries. America, we have surveillance going on in China and Russia and all of these other places. We got it going on too, all right? For those of you that are military, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just that China got busted. They were sloppy. It was like the cheating husband or the cheating wife that got sloppy and now it's a big mess, right? So that's what's happening right now. They got busted, right? And so I just believe that there's room for this to pass. All right. So what else there's a few more things that I wanted to get to. I'll get to my inspiration. If I think about it, I'll come back to it. My inspiration today is building on solid foundation, Don't build your house on sand, but a solid rock. In a great book, if you go to Matthews 7:24 through 29, it talks about building your house on a firm foundation. So when the wind and the rain comes to beat against it, if you build it on sand, it's going to wash away. Do that with your portfolios. Make sure that you have 80 to 85% of your investments during this period in good, solid companies. That this is not in high risk, not in ADRs, not in bankrupt headed companies, not in BBBY headed for bankruptcy, or I know about the potential short squeeze. That's gambling, not the AMC, not the Carvana, not these companies that are threatening bankruptcy. If you have all your cash into those, you're not building your house on a solid, firm foundation. That's sand. So that's my word of encouragement today. But I'm pretty sure that this story is going to continue. Oh, yeah. I do believe in closing that eventually TikTok will be banned in America. That's already been on the table and it's just going to fuel. What is that going to do for you and I? I believe that's going to be a boost for Meta because Reels are really hot and it's going to be a boost for Meta and it's going to be a boost for Google. Google have their YouTube shorts and Meta, of course, has their Reels. And who's been killing both of them? TikTok. So if TikTok gets banned here in the US, then I believe that's going to be positive for Meta and Google. All right. So a lot of gems in this conversation. Good people, trade wisely and safely. OK, but remember the message. Build your house and your investments on firm foundations. OK, for those of you that are new, just get VOO, get VOO, I'm sorry, and then get VTI. Just buy the top 500 companies. Just buy the overall stock market. As a matter of fact, if you're brand new, I would suggest you having half of your portfolio and just buying the overall stock market. You're going to do well long term. Okay, good people. Hey, if you are new, if you heard anything you like, make sure you hit that like button, you guys. Okay, and we will see you tomorrow. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. I love you guys. Make sure you watch the morning lives. Okay, this week is going to be different from me. I believe I'll only be airing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I'm going to try to do opening bell, closing bell, and then another video. So I'm going to do that Monday, Tuesday will be off. I'll do it Wednesday. Thursday will be off, and then Friday. Okay. I love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn.